everyone, I'm John. Thank you for joining us at Humble Readiness and Outdoors. You've seen me review the Grayl Transit 30-liter backpack before. It's my favorite outdoor day pack and it's fantastic for outdoor use. However, I've traveled a bit for work lately, sometimes with driving, sometimes with flying, and that means going through TSA as well. And what I learned is that the Grayl Transit 30-liter is also an awesome travel pack. And I just thought I would show you all of that. I'm actually in a hotel room right now, so forgive the imperfect setup, but this is as real as it gets. Let me show you how I have it packed. As you probably know, when you fly, you can't take lots of liquid through the TSA screening station, so that means filling up a water bottle on the other side or paying outrageous prices for airport bottled water. I refuse to do that second one, so since this is a Grayl bag and was intelligently designed, it has a place to put a water bottle, specifically the Grayl, underneath. It doesn't have to be the Grayl, but for me when I'm traveling, why would it not be when it's multifunction? The bottle lock system keeps it in place. It'll hold the Ultra Press or GeoPress, and I brought my Ultra Press. If I was getting water from a trusted source, such as one of the water bottle filling stations that was filtered, then I had no problem just going straight into the bottle. If I was getting it from a questionable source, such as New York City hotel tap water, yeah, you better believe I filled it and then filtered it the way that only this can do. On my outside pockets, I keep food and snacks. I want to be able to access them quickly on a flight or in the airport without having to move a bunch of stuff around or it getting squished in the main bag because I compressed everything in there pretty good. Over on this side, I just have some snacks, energy bars, Jack Links, protein bars. On the other side, and you could use either, I have now confirmed twice through science and dedication that each side pocket will in fact hold, without crushing, 2 Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches, 3 sauces, and a handful of Chick-fil-A napkins. I do this for science. There are 2 pockets above and below each other on the front. Let me show you what's in those. First on this side, just some of the large washcloth size wet wipes. You may get stuck at the airport, the shower in your hotel might go down, something to that effect, and you just want to clean yourself off, so those are important to me. Next, we're going to talk about something medical. If you're interested in the tactical and that kind of preparedness side of things, please support our other channel, which is Humble Shooting and Self-Defense. If not, we'll just talk about some crazy guy med gear and then we'll move on. I've got the same hiking first aid kit, the boo-boo stuff that stays in this bag pretty much all the time. Some trauma shears. I can't take my multi-tool. I usually carry a Leatherman Wave Alpha. Couldn't take it through TSA, but these you can. They're within the right size. These are EMT trauma shears in the smaller size, and I can use them to cut a lot of things. I've got the Snake Staff Gen 2 tourniquet, which I had been testing and didn't mean to leave in here, but now I'm not taking it out probably. A cat tourniquet, that's the Gen 7. I've got a Hemcon bandage. It's like the Elias bandage, but also comes with the impregnated coagulant in the gauze and a set of hyphen vented chest seals. Now let me show you the top pocket. So first, a notebook and a bunch of 3x5 index cards. That's just how I keep my thoughts in order. Some extra pens. Cannot have enough pens. And people like to steal those. I could lay $100 bill among my coworkers. No one's going to touch it. Leave a pen unattended and it will disappear. This is the Super Grip Lock. This is for hotel door safety. I'll show you how that works here in a second. And then spare glasses, I've got both are prescription. One is tinted, one is non-tinted regular glasses, just because I was born lucky. I've unzipped the sides. You're going to notice as I flip the top back, that Nomadix tiny towel is hanging from that little tether on the inside. I'll get into what's in these 2 pockets here in a moment. Right now, let's focus on this section. On this interior side, I kept that Outdoor Vitals inflatable pillow that made the flight a little bit more comfortable. Always keep some duct tape and some bank line. Never know what you're going to need to fix. Over here is my windbreaker jacket. It's a Columbia. And then my Z-Packs toboggan. Even though I'm traveling in the summer right now, I never know when the plane's going to get cold or rain's going to come, so I just like to be prepared. I am an Eagle Scout. Up here, this is where I just stuffed my clothing, and I have the ability to cinch it down. I just didn't. Extra work polo, bunch of socks, work shirt, or excuse me, t-shirt, another t-shirt. Beneath that are my drawers, and you don't want to see those, so I'll leave them in there. Let me flip this around, let you see what's on the other side. So this is the front of the backpack. This is the inside of that front panel, that clamshell. So I want to talk about this pouch now. Normally when I travel, I take a full hygiene and travel kit with your normal hygiene toiletry stuff. I didn't have to. I got it all to fit in this pocket here. That's just because this bag is so big and versatile that I can fit pretty much everything in it that I could want. So inside I've got all your normal stuff: deodorant, toothbrush, different soaps, mouthwash, lens wipes because I was born lucky, toothpaste, tissues, more lens wipes, more lens wipes. I've got floss picks. I've got, everybody knows the Fallout guy, my pill organizer. And if you saw Stand By Me, you know the most important thing is the comb. Then on the inside of that clamshell, the lower pocket is mesh. That lets you see what's inside. So I chose to put my electronics here just in case TSA was curious about what my electronics were. So that included my luggage specified power bank, my charging kit, I'll break that open for you here in a moment, a flash drive, and my earbuds. The final compartment is right here. But before we go inside, I want to talk about one more feature this bag has. It's better than any of the others in this size class that I have because of this feature, and not just because it's so extremely well made and robust, but I'm talking about its water resistance. I could get caught out in the rain. I could get splashed by a vehicle going by. I could spill my coffee while I'm on the flight. Anything can happen to get water on the bag, and I don't want it to get in the bag. The material that Grayl makes their bags of is water resistant very well in and of itself. You can spray it with something if you're so inclined, but I don't see the need. But additionally, and this is where a lot of backpacks fail, Grayl uses their AquaGuard zippers, and this keeps the zippers very water resistant, and I appreciate that, especially since we're about to get into my work materials and my laptops. So with that spoiler out of the way, I've got a bunch of documents, some other work stuff in a 3-ring binder, and then not one, but 2 laptops. Back when I was using this as a hiking bag exclusively, I didn't appreciate a padded laptop pocket. I even did that, am I going to cut grams out and remove that just so it's a little lighter dance? But you know what? I'm very glad it's in here, even though I didn't appreciate it at the time. And that makes this bag perfect for travel. Here's what's in that little charging pouch that I keep. It's made by Viper 8, and it's kind of a cool nerd pouch. There is an AC to USB, a DC to 2 USB, a USB to USB, I think micro. This is a double, it goes from USB to 2 USB-Cs. In the top, I keep my long USB-C to USB-C. And then in here, this is, I forget the name, Minlu. Some off-brand, but it goes from USB to 4 different chargers. There are 2 lightning cables, which was great when I had that version of iPhone, but it also has a USB-C and a micro USB, and it does expand pretty long. I think it gets to about 4 feet, and all that just fits in there, keeps it nice and organized. Because of fire codes, most handles on hotel doors will be easy to open just by pressing down in the event of injury or just having not a lot of strength or dexterity. The way the deadbolt works is when you press down on that handle, it also opens. The downside to that is if someone slips something in from the top down or from the bottom up, known as an under door tool or over door tool, they can grab a hold of that handle, pull from the other side, and still get into your room. That's why I don't trust these as they are either. Let me show you an example of how I would put this on. So I'm going to slide it right there. And then I'm gonna wrap a couple times here. And I'm gonna give a little twist so that the hook and loop starts sticking to itself. I'm gonna come up again. I'm just gonna go on this side. I'm gonna stick it to more of the hook and loop down there. Let's give it a try. Any harder and I'll probably break it. Just a couple things and I promise I'll let you go. First, there's that nice thick mesh padding that sits against your back, gives you a nice airflow channel down the middle, makes it a lot more comfortable, but it doubles as protection for my laptops on the inside. And since I've been known to drop things, that's really appreciated. The other is how well and comfortable it sits and stays where I put it. What do you mean? Well, what I mean is it has good chest straps, load lifters, and really comfortable mesh padding on the pack straps itself. It also has a waist belt. I just prefer to take mine off. And even though I've carried it for a whole day on trail before, I'll carry it for 4 to 6 hours as a norm when I'm day hiking. There's a whole new test called running through the airport trying not to miss a flight, and this bag passed with flying colors and made me so thankful it was so well engineered and I wasn't running my Swiss gear backpack that I normally use for work. So thanks to the Grayl for doing such a good job. This has been a review of the Grayl Transport 30 liter. I hope you've enjoyed. I'm John. We'll see you next time. Stay humble.